Greetings Gothlings, welcome to gothgirljournals. My name is Mina and I'm so happy you could join me. This is day 2 of Creep on June 2025, hosted by the lovely Tracy Fox. All the links and descriptions and kits and anything you need to know, collaborators, calendar, all of that is down below in the description. Before we get crafting, I just wanted to say thank you so much to those who have liked, subscribed, watched, commented. I feel very humbled. You know, you kind of put yourself and your art and your stuff out there and you kind of think you're putting it in the void and you don't know if anybody's going to see it or like it or anything. And even though my channel is teeny tiny, I feel very grateful for everybody that's reached out in any type of way. You won't hear me asking to like, subscribe, all of that quite a lot. I'm a bit uncomfortable with it, but yeah, I'm glad that some people are enjoying and you make me really happy, and I will call you out by name in my next video. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong because I'm very new to this, but I can't see the names of all of my subscribers. I don't know if that's a normal thing on YouTube. Maybe you can tell me if you've got a channel as well. So I'll only name the people who are actually, whose names I can see on my list. Anyways, now that that's done with, let's get crafting. So today for day 2, this was the ephemera. I've done a little bit because my last videos, I've realized I'm a super slow crafter. So I did even more prep than before. So it was, the ephemera was kind of this booklet and this pocket. And then there was also a tag. So these were the 3 things given, along with obviously the prompt, which is, fair river in thy bright clear flow, thou art an emblem of the glow, for in my heart as in thy stream her image deeply lies. So this is a quote from To the River, poem by Edgar Allan Poe, obviously. It's quite a short poem and it compares the beauty of a woman to a kind of excitingly, clearly raging river. And I've decided to kind of connect that. So I'm doing my own little story, and in this one, the said beautiful woman is going to be an old flame of Poe's, somebody that he was with and that he loved very much. And she turned out to be a witch and he was devastated, and he made her leave because in his travels he had learned just all the bad stuff about witches and he didn't think that he wanted to be with her. Anyway, so that's the story. So we're going to do a couple of things today. I'll show you what I've already made. I've made this an open tag. So with kind of like a hidden pocket, and then I've made this witchy lady, and on the back you can write on this with gel pens. It's not too dark, and then that's going to go in here with the little tab sticking out, which I'll show you at some point how I did. I did this with my tab punch, but I kind of repunched it to make it smaller because my tab punch is a lot bigger than this. The tab is like that big, which is too big for here. So this is going to go into this pocket, but we are going to work more on this. And then, yeah, I guess we'll see all the bits and pieces, you know, kind of as we go along. I'll show them to you, but let's get started with this one. I'm going to glue this pocket onto here, and as you can see it blends in with the pattern quite nicely. Does it? Have I got this the right way? I absolutely don't. It needs to go this way. Now it blends in with the pattern nicely, so I'm going to use my wet glue for that. I made an acetate pocket, which is going to go on top here. It's like a little invisible pocket. What I want to do is I just want to put a stamp on this. So just to give it a little bit more interest. And I'm very into these stamps. I used them on one of my other makes. I used this one. This pocket's quite small. I don't know if you can even see it. Sorry, I'm using a lot of stuff that reflects. Yeah, I think let's do this little one. I'm going to use Stays On because it is a permanent ink that won't rub off the acetate. It won't smudge well. So I'm going to let that dry for a little bit also. Let's move on to the tag. What I'd like to do here is the back of the tag, which is this part. I'm going to glue this pocket. Is that going? Nope, that's not going on there. That's not what I planned that for. I actually don't know if I'm putting anything on the back of here. Maybe not. So let's do the front. So the front is going to have this, the little prompt, as I like to call it. We're going to put a witch on the front as well. And then at the bottom here, we are going to put, I can find it. We're going to put this image, which is from the ephemera kit of a river, since that is the title of the poem or the prompt today. So let's test it in the pocket. Hopefully it's dry now, and let's see how much sticks out and what it looks like. Perfect. Okay, I'm happy with that. That looks great. So now we can move on to this pocket. Now with regards to acetate, the only way I can stick it on is with this, I almost said masking tape, double-sided tape. And that is because, yeah, there is no glue that works on such a shiny surface that I have anyway. There we go. So we have that. Yeah, it's just got a little bit more interest. I'm trying to make it not glare. There we go. And then I'm going to fill these pockets with little things, just with little tickets. This one says witching hour. So we got that. This one says witchcraft. That can go in the front there. And now, this is a booklet like this. So we're going to open it and go inside. The first thing I want to do is, I'm planning to do this whole thing. I don't know if it will work. It's this whole little mechanic that I have invented in my head, and I 100% am not sure that it's going to work. So I've got a framed photo here. So this is his witch girlfriend. I haven't actually given her a name. And then this photo, picture, illustration, shows like a woman and then her skeleton on the other side, almost like her true nature is being revealed. So this is how she presented herself to our Mr. Poe, but this was her for real. So I wanted to put this teeny tiny hat on the second picture. I mean, you can't even like see it. She has a tiny little hat. Okay, so now my whole idea was that this image is here, and then I've got this with I've cut this open a little bit. As you can see, I've just cut half, like around half of the oval, and then I want to have this behind sliding in like this. Okay, so it's going to show a little bit at the top here. It won't be that noticeable because I need it to not get stuck when it needs to slide, so it needs to be inside already. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a piece of acetate on the back of here so that that will be my little push pull. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cover it with this. So I'm going to have this like this. You are going to see the pull part. Okay, that I'm fine with. So we're going to have this and it's going to look like that. So what I'm going to do for now is I'm going to glue this down, and I'm going to just put wet glue on either side. Now I need to figure out, what do I stick first, what do I stick second? That's under there. So technically this needs to have that showing a tiny bit. It's kind of the only way that I can figure to do it right now. Oh, I didn't show you like how the actual mechanism, what it does, how it works. So then you push on this, push it into here. There we go. So when you push it down, basically it goes in here. So what I'm going to do is, because I'm happy with how much this is sticking out, I'm going to just clamp this down. To the river, fair river, in thy bright clear flow of crystal wandering water, thou art an emblem of the glow of beauty, the unhidden heart, the playful maziness of art, in old Alberto's daughter. But when within thy wave she looks, which glistens then and trembles, thy then the prettiest of brooks her worshipper resembles. For in my heart, as in thy stream, her image deeply lies, the heart which trembles at the beam of her soul-searching eyes. Okay, just so we don't spend the whole time on that, I'm now putting this here, which says, this is a Poe quote as well, all suffering originates from craving, from attachment, from desire. So this kind of alludes to the fact that, you know, he craved and desired this beautiful woman, and then what ended up happening was, you know, not so great after he found out who she really was. Okay, now I've made this little flippity flip book for writing space to put over here, and I'm going to cover the top with this grungy material that I've used before. what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my wet glue just to glue it at the top here. Glue it to the page. Normally when I do these, I make them removable, and so you can put more. However, for that, it needs to go through, and I didn't want any holes at the back or anything like that, so I left it. So when I stick it over, this is purely just for, you know, grungy decorative purposes. Let's try fray this end. Looks a little too neat. Some clippies. I wanted to do this. I don't know why I'm all about the flaps and the reveals, but anyways, I might have to make this a lot shorter. Okay, it's fine that this one's a bit taller. So what I want to do with this is, it's going to be like a flap. So he meets this beautiful woman and falls in love with her, and here she is. And then later he finds out, da, 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 she's a witch. And what I was actually going to do is I was going to cut off this part so that it doesn't have a sticky outy bit here, but I actually like it. It's like the forest continues kind of thing. Now, do I want to do something about the fact that this is going flappity flap? I'm not sure. I could put I don't like that this is sticking out. I could put a paper clip. I don't want to go, you know, more elaborate than that. Right. So we've done the big reveal flippity flap, and I should have backed this. So I think what I want to do here is just do a bit of a stencil, and I'll use the one that I used for day one just to have a bit of continuity, which was this one. So let's do a bit of that, a bit of this, a bit of that. Just don't like leaving stark white. Although that can also be some journaling space. Yep. Okay, so we have that, we have that. Now what are we doing? I'm going to take these off. I think that should be fine. See, it's sticking out a bit. I like that, so I am leaving that. And we are now going to stick this back pocket on. Right, so we've got that there. And then in here, there's this other picture of a river. So, and then I would have to back it. But what I wanted to put on the actual pocket is this lady. So this is, what are these called? Like a cameo. I think it's called a cameo. And this is a cameo of his witch lady, you know, before he knew that she was a witch and broke his heart. Okay, so we've got that. Now I have this beautiful butterfly, sorry, moth. So I was thinking leave this for extra writing space and just stick the moth here. We are going to now back this, and then I'm going to show you, there's one last part I haven't shown you, and that is this heart. So I'm going to attach this heart as a dangle. Okay, and I don't think I'm going to do anything on the back here. I just really want writing space, so I think I'm going to leave that one. All right, so what I did was I lengthened this and I put a little coffin paper clip on just so it keeps it, because it's loose. Okay, so now it works beautifully, goes all the way in, comes all the way out. Yeah, just gets clipped like that. I grunged up a bit. I did a bit of splatter stamping in that, and then I want to actually put a tab on this. So I mentioned my tab punch. So this is it. Mine is, it does a single tab. So if you fold a piece of paper over, then it will do the full one. And this is where I said I made it smaller, because if you compare, I'll show you now, the actual size that this one punches is this. And if you have a look at this one here, it's much smaller. So I'm going to have a look here. I find that this is a bit too big. So I'm going to show you how I made the other one smaller. You put it back in. It is a little bit difficult. There's actually a trick that you can do this with a sticky note. That's about as far as I can get it with my finger. I'm going to cut it, punch it. See, and now it's smaller, which is really cool. That's perfect. There we are. It's just because this pocket is a little bit deeper that it's going into. So let's have a look. So we've got her here with some writing space on the back. She goes into this tag. On the back here, I've left it for writing. This is quite light, so you will see writing. I grunged that up a bit so it's not stark white. That is going to go into the cover. There we go. Okay, so now it goes in. So that's what it looks like. This sticks out a little bit on the side here, which looks nice. I like that. We got a bunch of little tickets that we can put in this little clear pocket here. And then for the last thing is, I said I was going to make a dangle with the heart, and I'm punching all of mine at the top so that they can fit into, you know, when I put them in the journal. So I'm going to use my Crop-A-Dile for that. I'm going to use my Crop-A-Dile and a gold eyelet, just so it goes with this gold. I'm not really good at putting those like back things, so what are they called, washers or something? So I just don't. Can probably dangle from here, should be okay. Let's do it there. Lovely. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the eyelet just through the top one, because if it goes, it will obviously go into the journal through both, but if I put it through both, this will be closed and you won't be able to open the booklet properly. Okay, well, let me try do the baby punch. So now I'm going to put that in with one of my bulb pins. There we are, and the front and the inside and the dun 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 reveal, and extra writing space. And this, I'm not going to unclip it now, you've seen it. This is quite a plain tag for black writing on the back. And yeah, that is today's make. Thank you so much for joining me, you guys. I really appreciate you being here. And yeah, if you're enjoying yourself, like, subscribe, all the you see, I can't even get the word out. But yeah, I will see you tomorrow for day 3. Farewell.